Greetings, class of 2021, and to family and to friends. I am so pleased to welcome you to the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences Spring Virtual Recognition Ceremony. Whatever path brought you to us, we are honored to have been a part of your lives. Graduates, in these unprecedented times, I have been truly inspired by your resiliency and your ability to meet adversity with grace and determination. I would like to thank all of you for your cooperation and goodwill as we have worked together to conclude your college education under very trying circumstances. Through the uncertainty, you have made our college proud and have truly shown what it means to be a part of the Gator Nation. Now, since many of our graduates were unable to attend the in-person events this weekend, we decided to host this virtual ceremony to ensure a celebration for all of our graduates. Today, we will share the recording from the in-person ceremony, as well as video messages from our student speaker, a class alumnus, and various well wishes from faculty and staff across the college. At the conclusion of the recording, the virtual individual recognition will begin. Now, most importantly, we will recognize you, Spring 2021 class degree recipients. You are graduates not only from a top 10 public university, but from one of this university's oldest and unquestionably its largest and most academically diverse colleges. That diversity in particular is what makes this college such an amazing enterprise. Together, we represent academic disciplines that illuminate the human condition, examine the social dimensions of life, and explore the natural world on this planet and beyond. Together, we provide education, research, and public service for the people of Florida, the nation, and the world. And together, we fulfill the mission of a public university. Together, we are the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. Congratulations on this wonderful accomplishment, and go Gators!
Please remain standing as we sing the national anthem, as led by UF's Professor Anthony O'Furley and accompanied by the faculty brass quintet.
So stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched, her so gallantly streaming, where the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Distinguished faculty and staff, friends, family members, and most of all, graduating doctoral students of the University of Florida class of 2021, good morning, welcome, and many congratulations. Today we celebrate the academic and the personal achievements of our students who will receive their doctoral degrees from this great institution. And on behalf of the faculty, staff, and trustees in the University of Florida, again, many congratulations. As someone who spent 8 years in graduate school, I know how important this day is to everyone. And I want to congratulate and thank the family members and the friends for your support and devotion to these graduates. The foundation of a great university is its faculty and its staff. Could I ask all the faculty and staff who are present today to please stand so that we may thank you for everything that you do and have done for these students and the university. Please. Finally, I would like to give all of today's graduates the opportunity to show their appreciation to family members, friends, and those that have helped them reach this important milestone. Whether you're here in the O-Dome or at the stadium or watching online, will the families and friends of the degree candidates please rise so that these graduates can recognize you? Please be seated. The members of the military serve so that we can be free and safe. I ask our graduates who are veterans or active duty members of the military to stand so that we can extend our congratulations and show our appreciation for your willingness to serve in the defense of our country and the cause of peace. All veterans and active duty, please stand. You may be seated. Doctoral graduates in the class of 2021, it is wonderful to celebrate with you physically, in person, in all three dimensions. Every Gator graduate earns their coveted diploma after completing the academic demands of the University of Florida degree. But class of 2021, you've done something more. You've gone the distance at a distance. Over 100 years ago, the class of 1918-19 overcame the influenza pandemic. But UF was only about 2 decades old, and we did not yet have doctoral programs. So you are the first UF doctorates to earn this distinction. Again, many congratulations. You've reached this day after years of hard work, with a special push these last few months to complete and defend dissertations and papers, submit your research for publication, to apply and interview for positions, to finish teaching classes. I remember the last 6 months of my PhD in electrical engineering at the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign. I was doing all those other things, and at the same time, I had returned to divinity school in Chicago, where I had took that fall 21 course credits to finish a Master of Divinity degree that I had started some 7 years previously. And I was so exhausted at my PhD commencement that I took a nap. As you no doubt have already discovered, it's important to maintain energy and enthusiasm in your work. Yet maintaining stamina in the years of scholarship can be hard. You've just experienced that. The important work of research and scholarship is never complete, and often it remains open to question, and it often rarely reveals the impact it will someday have. This brings me to my message to you all, our graduates. As UF doctoral graduates steeped in the academic tradition, I know that sometimes you can't help but feel that the hard work to which you are dedicating your lives really advances slowly, or it is maybe too specialized to reverberate outside of your own area, your own discipline. That is understandable, but it's actually contrary to fact. As you launch your careers in university teaching, in companies, in nonprofits, in the private sector, I urge you to have faith that your work will bring positive change, not only to your discipline, your field, but to the larger community and indeed the wider world. And sometimes, likely after years and years of work, maybe in the library, maybe in the lab, maybe in the classroom, out in the field, change will appear to erupt suddenly and with absolutely breathtaking results that will benefit humankind and our planet. In my own career, I first became very excited about computer engineering when I was a sophomore undergraduate at Duke University, when I took a class as a sophomore in artificial intelligence. It was in 1974, and a period of great excitement that year about the field of AI. Although I ultimately pursued a whole different area for my PhD, I followed the developments in AI closely. And by the time I earned my own doctorate in 1985, the excitement had begun to cool. The early progress in AI had hit a lot of dead ends. The path ahead was unclear, and funding began to dry up. Faculty moved on to other areas, and they advised their doctoral students to do the same. However, more than 3 decades later, everything has changed. Artificial intelligence underpins our lives, from computer-assisted driving, medical imaging and diagnosis, financial transactions, social media, our entire lives. Here at UF, we have launched a university-wide initiative in AI that includes every college, and it will impact curriculum and research across our university. Now, the scientists and engineers who were toiling away on AI when I was an undergrad and then a graduate student would be astonished by the progress of AI today and its infusion in modern society. They literally worked on AI for many decades before it finally took flight. We have an even more striking example of this same phenomenon in the COVID vaccines. Historically, it took many years to develop vaccines, yet the global scientific community produced several different COVID vaccines in less than a year. This historic accomplishment was made possible in great measure by a scientist who spent decades working in obscurity, Kati Karikó. Dr. Karikó, a native of Hungary, dedicated her career, her life, to messenger RNA, or mRNA, which is the genetic script that carries DNA instructions to cells to make proteins. According to a wonderful profile by Gina Colada in the New York Times, Dr. Karikó believed that she could use mRNA to instruct cells to make medicines, including vaccines. However, her ideas were seen as unorthodox and even unpromising. She struggled for years to find grant funding and to stay even employed, moving from one low-level academic position to another. And according to the New York Times, she never made a salary in her career of more than $60,000 a year. Still, Dr. Karikó did manage to find some senior college colleagues to take her under their wing, allowing her the opportunity to pursue her ideas at Temple University and then the University of Pennsylvania. While she and those colleagues made progress, they were rarely rewarded with grants and never with prizes. Leading scientific publications often rejected their papers. They were told that they should move on to something more promising. When Dr. Carrico and one of her colleagues, Dr. Drew Weissman at Penn, proved the concept of using mRNA to instruct cells to make a part of a virus, the silence in the scientific and entrepreneurial communities was deafening. Dr. Weissman said, quote, "We talked to pharmaceutical companies and venture capitalists, no one cared. We were screaming a lot, but no one was listening." Now finally, after many years of being ignored or sidelined, the biotech company Moderna and also Pfizer-BioNTech partnership began funding the mRNA research. That funding led to clinical trials for mRNA vaccines for flu and Zika. Then COVID happened. Chinese scientists posted the genetic sequence of the virus in January 2020, and within 48 hours, based on Dr. Carrico's and her colleagues' decades of work, BioNTech and Moderna had both designed mRNA vaccines to fight it. Many other scientists contributed solutions to further advancing the vaccines. Testing began by Moderna and Pfizer-BioNTech and by the National Institutes of Health. On November 8th, 2020, less than 1 year after the Chinese scientists had sequenced the COVID virus, the first results came in, showing that mRNA conferred immunity to COVID. To celebrate, the Times said, Dr. Carrico ate an entire box of goobers, chocolate-covered peanuts, all by herself. Graduates, scholarship, the teaching, your work, to which you have invested so many years, will sometimes seem to advance slowly or maybe even hit a dead end. You may not always win the most prestigious grants, or you may not always land your dream position. And they may question you and your ideas. But if and when this happens, I want you to remember Dr. Carrico and the COVID vaccines that you yourselves may have chosen for protection, as have I. Serious and consequential scholarship, hard work, usually advances in small incremental steps rather than eureka moments. The Pfizer and Moderna vaccines may have been developed in less than a year, but they rested on decades of small and incremental steps by Dr. Carrico. Remember how she kept going despite skepticism and resistance, seemingly slow progress, and no financial or academic rewards. Whether you continue with research or whether you move into careers in industry, government, nonprofits, the public sector, I urge you to have the courage to stay your course. If your work is solid, whether it's in the humanities, in the social sciences, the arts, physical sciences, the life sciences, engineering, or any other area, if you maintain your energy and also in your enthusiasm in pursuing it, you may well be amazed by the sweeping impact of your life's work. You too may someday eat an entire box of goobers by yourself. I'm so proud of each one of you for your achievement in earning your University of Florida doctoral degrees today. I wish you well in embracing your career of scholarly incremental steps and the giant leaps they will bring humanity and the planet. Although you are receiving your highest degree offered, I want you to know that you are not finished with the University of Florida. You are now a member of the University of Florida family. And I pray that blessings will be abundant in your personal and your professional lives, and that although you may leave Gainesville and the University of Florida, we will always be your home, and we will always be cheering for you. I leave you with an old Irish blessing that expresses my personal affection and admiration for each one of you. May the sun on your face, and may the rain fall soft upon your fields. May the wind be at your back, and may the road rise to meet you, and may the Lord hold you in the hollow of his hand until we meet again. Doctors, congratulations. It is great to be a Florida Gator. And now, we've arrived at the moment you have been eagerly awaiting, the conferring of degrees. We'll do this by degrees. First, will the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy or Doctor of Education please rise? On behalf of the people of the state of Florida, and by the powers vested in me by the UF Board of Trustees, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy or Doctor of Education with the accompanying rights, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations.
Charles P. Atchison, Daniel N. Acton, Julia M. Arroyo, Summer Rebecca Nicole Atkins, Ian James Osprey, Pyliang Bai, Suman Kumar Bhattacharya, Maria del Pilar Butler, Stephanie M. Callow, Dion Campbell, Shuhang Chen, Jaeul Choi, Kevin J. Cooley, Jill Elizabeth Costi, Lisa Suzanne Curry Pochi, Michelle Dayer, Lisa Eileen David, Atul Kumar Divakarla, Chenxing Dong, Nicholas Sean Dowhaniak, Lisa G. Duffy, Bogdan Christian Dumitru, Jacqueline Elliott, Michael T. Engin, Sankalp Gilda, Peter R. Gitto, Pamir Gogoi, Ryan Zachary Good, Wen Xiao Guo, Heather E. Hannaford, Miad A. Hassan, Mohammed Mihidi Hassan, Wan Hong He, Will R. Henderson, Harold Allen Hollis, J. Lucian D. Houle, Jiawei Huang, Mary Elizabeth Ibarola, Ivan Ishkov, He Rion Zhang, Elizabeth Namagoba Kawiza, Bonnie K. Kircher, Andrew J. Latham, Brianna Loriano, Michelle Catherine Lee, Sunidhi Lenka, Jacob John Lassard, Allison Jane Levy, Chiang Lee, Catherine Lippy, Laurie Lai, Victoria Marie Machado, Taylor Robertson McDonald, Zhihui Miao, Nikola Milicevic, Hamide Mohammadi, Robert Sean Monahan, Emily L. Moraz, Stephanie Jane Mundis, Roberto Gerardo Munoz Pando, Felicity Leah Newell, Amanda Michelle Nichols, G.A. Park, Brandon C. Perez, Stephen Christopher Phillips, Trey Polvador, Raja Zakia Malika Rahim, Romy Rajan, Matthew P. Rooney, Alexandra Nicole Sabo, Mara O. Schlingensipen Malik, Shubham Sharma, Zachary R. Shaw, Julianne Sorsey, April Dawn Spratley, Ryan A. St. Laurent, Miyoko Sudo, Yefan Tao, Dustin Arthur Tracy, Nicole Tuavila, Alexander J. Weaver, Sarah Catherine Weinstock, Taylor Ann Wisman, Alexandria Nicole Wilson McDonald, Thomas K. Winkler, Joni E. Wright, Elham Yagubi, Chun Hao Yang, Shunwoo Zuo,
For it alma mater, thy glorious name we praise. All thy loyal sons and daughters a joyous song shall raise. Where palm and pine are blowing, where southern seas are flowing, shine forth thy noble Gothic walls, thy lovely vine-clad halls. 'Neath the orange and blue victorious,